Good day everyone. Well, we've been doing some kitchen renovations, which is why I haven't been making YouTube videos lately much, and thought I'd show you guys what we've got here. We have a very poorly installed overflow relief gully and 50mm waste going up to the kitchen sink, if you can see that. Yeah, so that's the 50mm DWV, which is the waste, as opposed to pressure pipe. The sizes are different in different applications, even different glue for pressure versus waste. This is looks like to me it looks like it's out of a it's just a shower waste or something. Actually, I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's a horrible little piece of crap. And what it had was a block of concrete. This was set into the concrete, so it can't come out, which is illegal. You're not allowed to do that. So what we have here is an overflow relief gully trap. It's not glued into the top of the trap properly, as you can see by the movement. If I can put the damn camera down. See, it's loose. That just gave it a whack because we're still using it. We've got a reducer, a conical one from 100mm on that 45° T to 50mm. Now, this replaces that. That's the new one. You can see it's basically the same, because we're not going to reuse that piece of shit pipe, filthy old thing. You wouldn't want to work with it anyway. We're also going to dig it right out. We're going to chop below the level that this socket glues onto the top of the pipe. So we've got fresh pipe. And I'm going to now explain the point of an overflow relief gully. It's a legally required piece of pipe work, actually throughout the world, but in Australia this is how they do it generally. And there are different types. There's not just overflow relief gullies, but this is the most common type of thing, so this is what I'm going to explain. A very poorly drawn diagram in an aid to explain what's there. Okay, so as you can see, the blue obviously represents water. It's very poorly drawn, but who cares? And that is what you see sticking above the ground, and usually it's set in concrete. Now that is that. So you'd have the actual piece of pipe, the 100mm pipe, fits inside that. So that would sit, kind of about there, sort of. Now this is designed to do two things. The first thing, it's a trap. So it traps water. It traps water in this bend to seal off the sewer gas to the house and the atmosphere. So obviously, if this wasn't there and it was just basically an elbow straight up, it'd stink. It wouldn't smell very nice. So it's a legally required thing. There has to be a separation via a trap between the sewer air and the air in the house. So they do it via a trap. The water can flow down and empty out, but there's just always sits in the bottom like that. Now that is what's that? That's what that top bit is, and you got this conical reducer like you do with that. So it just sits in there like that, and it's offset, so you can it's more flexible. I didn't want a bush. You can just get a bush, a flat bush that sits level with the top of that. I just didn't want it, so there you go. That's what I got. Now, the second purpose of an overflow relief gully. So we've explained the gully trap. Okay, trap the air. So no sewer air gets exchanged with the air out here. Otherwise, it would smell very bad. But this kind of gives it away. This top, it just sits on the top here like that. Now this is the way it has to be. It's a legally required fixture. and this just sits. This sits 75 mil above the surface of the ground. That's the minimum clearance. It's got to be minimum 75 mil above the surface of the ground. So let's just say it was something like that. That'd be more like 150 mil or something. So you might only have like that kind of much sticking out. But it's got to be, according to the Plumbing Industry Commission guidelines, it's got to be minimum 75 mil above the ground level, and it has to be 150 mil minimum below the lowest fixture in the house. Now that's usually the shower base, or a floor waste, for example, something like that. So this grate can't be fixed. It can't be glued down or not able to just pop off. So the purpose of this, as demonstrated by this diagram with this ground level, blue. Okay, I didn't have brown, so I used blue. That's the ground level of the house normally, of the dirt around the house. Now, what happens is, if something goes catastrophically wrong with the sewer system, and there's a backup of the system, and therefore a backflow. If you didn't have this, or if this grate was part of that, so it couldn't come off, toilet paper and stuff would block these holes, and that would not flow water out, and it would backtrack the pipes, and it would end up in your house all over the floor. You'd end up with a river of shit and toilet paper and terrible things in your house. Now, that can mean some very, very bad news, because sewage is a contaminant. It's it's not good for your health, and that's why this overflow relief gully is a legally required piece of infrastructure. So you see a lot of the older systems where the grate's actually fixed to the top of this, and they only just sort of had the grate. That's no longer legal for a new installation. It has to be a design where that can just pop off, and all the shit and toilet paper can flow out as freely as it likes, and that's the point of overflow at this house. So if you are outside and you see, now usually what they do is they'll put this in, and then they'll have sort of concrete level with here, and kind of a mound. So they'll have concrete from, say, there to sort of ground level. So you'll see a concrete mound with this kind of sticking up out of the top of it. That's what it's there for, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure that that can just pop off, because that's what the new standards for plumbing in Australia, or Australian standards if you like, require. Because obviously, like I said, if toilet paper and solid material blocks up this grate, and this can't pop off, then you're going to end up with a river of feces in your house, and spew and whatever else goes down the toilet. So yeah, it mightn't be a bad idea. That's my little it's our little adventures we're doing for today. We're not actually installing any of this, but you notice that it tells you everything you need to know, if it's ever going to focus. It tells you that it complies with the Australian and New Zealand pipe standards, or standards for plumbing and all that. W stands for waste, which is there, and also DWV also stands for waste. It's telling you it's PVC. It's 100 millimeters by 45 degrees T. So there you go. It's everything you wanted to know about overflow relief gullies. And by the way, overflow relief gullies are not made up out of spare bits. They're actually something that you buy, and the bends are very tight. They'll kind of come out like that, straight down, and then back up like that. So they're very tight. They allow for not much room. So thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, so it's my little crappy diagram, but it's a clear diagram, so just in case you want a better look at it, if it's ever going to focus. Yep, that's how it works, in case you've ever been curious about the infrastructure at your house. And that pipe there, of course, is just the sewage going under the house to the other side, the toilet and all that. So it's got the inspection opening there for you to unblock it, or whatever.